I made a vow for myself that this is it. This is what I need to change now. It's either I'm going to go that route or I can make something of my life. At the moment, I'm the IT Ignite's head coach, cricket head coach of Free State. I have been for the last 2 years. You grew up where drugs was around you. You grew up where abuse is around you, alcohol abuse. So there's things that I was not really relating to, but it became an everyday thing, so you got used to it. So for me, the upcoming of that was that we became like that. It's what is natural to us, to be honest, where I grew up. Eventually where the penny dropped is, I think, when my dad turned to alcohol, his heavy abuse of alcohol. I mean, it became so bad that my mom couldn't handle the pressure with providing for us. It became tough where my mom had to go steal. She worked and then she stole money at work. She got involved with colleagues and she stole to try and better our lives. And eventually they got caught and my mom went to prison for 5 years. I attended school at Pescodia Primary School, and basically it all happened there at that school and I went there. So I think the turning point for me was at primary school when the guy Triegaardt Alexander introduced me to cricket. I was always looked at the kid with a big bag, walking in the dusty streets of Rodepan, taking a taxi, going to practice, coming back late 6 o'clock at night, have to do homework, next day do it all over again. I think he actually saw when I came at school, I had proper hands, my reflexes was good. So he needed a wicket keeper and he called me and he said, I see you got good reflexes, don't you want to become a wicket keeper? So I'm like, yo, I never ever did this thing. And he said, it's simple, all you need to do is just catch the ball. I was just good in reflexes and he enhanced my skill, but he knew my circumstances as well. So I think that was also a blessing. After practice, he would always give me a loaf of bread and we used to get at school that milk, Sajak milk where you suck it like a bumpy. So he used to keep always a few of that and then give me when I used to go home afterwards. Not just me alone, there was many kids around me that went through the same circumstances. So he knew the circumstances and I think he identified something good in me. And it was for me to take that forward and I am still grateful today for him. The sad part came when I went to under 17s and we went to Durban, if I can remember it properly. We saw a pub, or I saw a pub on the right hand side of me, right where we just pulled in. And we went into, packed our bags there, and I had 2 guys in my team. I told them, well, did you see there's a pub? And they were like, yeah, are you skiing? And then we went there and we drank. And eventually other provinces drove past and saw us in our uniform. And we got chased back from Durban, to be honest, that year. They flew us back to Bloem, which I was ashamed of what I did, but it's all I knew all my life, how to react, and I was drawn into that world. Yeah, I think my decision making that time was very poor, to be honest, because like I mentioned, it's all I knew, drinking, becoming the tough guy. You always think that's the way to go. But since that, I must say, when we got back, that he dropped us at the field. I can remember the words he told me, it is, you will never ever play cricket in your life again if you don't pull yourself together. That was the words he gave me. At 17, I think walking back from that, it changed me completely. I think thinking of my mom in prison at the same time. Sorry, I am a bit vulnerable, but this is what it takes, I guess. And then that inspired me to just go and do right all the time. It wasn't easy, to be honest. It wasn't easy. I think that drove me more to make sure that you can't lose focus. You can't lose focus, but it's not going to be easy. I think that was my drive, that I don't want to be where I am. And one day I'm going to be a father. And I don't want my kids to go through what I'm going through. So that was my drive. I felt that my wrongdoing, I can teach someone. And there's many kids out there that's struggling with that, where coaches can't persist in a certain thing and buy time and have patience by teaching them that. And I thought, I'm going to give back that part of my life where I missed. I'm going to give it into coaching. It made a massive impact in my life. I mean, I wouldn't have been sitting here if it wasn't for them. So for me going forward, and whoever's listening, or whoever's in my position, especially teachers, coaches out there, they're massive inspiration, and they change people's lives, to be honest.